Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're stealing more ideas from Mudaha, also known as Some Ordinary Gamers. I'll link his channel down in the description. Mood is a great person. He's inspiring me to do all these videos and whatnot, and he has shown some video topics I'm interested in, and today I'm deciding to cover the whole TikTok thing. Now, if you don't know what's happening with TikTok are facing massive bans, worldwide bans across different countries. For the biggest one being the United States of America are actually considering banning this application from any Play Store or any place where you can do it from. TikTok has already been banned from places. India's banned it, but there is reasons why India has banned it, and we'll get to those. But there's a lot of different information coming out about how TikTok is being used for nefarious reasons. Now, why are people thinking this? Well, for starters, TikTok is a Chinese application. China is a big country. It's got one of the biggest. It might even have a bigger market than the United States. It's a big country. There's more billionaires than in the United States as well. In China, and China is fucking huge. It's one of the biggest countries out there. Maybe even being bigger than the whole of the United States, and maybe almost just about beating the size of Russia. But China is a big place with lots of people. Over 1 billion people live there, so you can see how many people do live in China, and it's a big place. But the thing is, China is communist. Now, communism is a whole nother topic I won't go into, but China has all these rules about how you're not supposed to speak out against the government. It even has this weird social credit score that if you do good things, you have a high social credit score. If you do bad things, you get a low social credit score. There's this whole fucking weird system, and I don't know. China is an effed up place to be in. Yes, they might have all these cultural examples of work and stuff, but China is a not very nice place to live in. It's not as bad as, let's say, North Korea, but it is considered very bad. Now, China has lots of things technology-wise improved. You might see that most 5G towers are from China. A lot of things are from China. They have their own phone brands, their own this and whatnot. And, it's a big place, as I said before. And there's a lot of different companies that want to do this and want to do that. Now, TikTok is a Chinese branded software. And if you don't know what TikTok is, you're dumb. But TikTok is a application where you can, it's kind of like Vine, where you scan through videos and whatnot. I personally don't use it, but a lot of friends, well, pretty much all of my friends probably use it, except for me and maybe Shion, who's been featured on this channel. I'll subscribe to him. But, there is a lot of things about TikTok. TikTok is considered one of the biggest platforms on this planet. It's really famous and whatnot, so you might know Charlie D'Amelio, all these. I probably butchered her name again, but there's a lot of different things. And, so, maybe just recently, some time ago, somebody reverse engineered TikTok. Now, if you don't know what reverse engineered is, the best way I can explain it is when you engineer an app, you build an app, you do all the coding, and you build the app, and you design it for this reason. Reverse engineering is when somebody gets your phone, gets the app, and then they take it apart and look through your code and whatnot. Now, a lot of companies have anti-reverse engineering so that other companies don't just steal their ideas and do all this and whatnot. So that's another reason why. Now, TikTok has recently been reverse engineered by someone on Reddit. Now, they put out a list of things to that what this app can do. Now, I'm gonna read through them and I'm gonna explain as much as I can about all these different things, and I will give my own input and whatnot. So, let's look into this. So, okay, right. So, TikTok is a data collection service that is finally revealed as a social network. If there is an API to get information on you, your contacts on your device, well, they're using it. Phone hardware, CPU type, number of cores, hardware IDS, screen dimensions, DPI, memory usage, disk space, etc. Lots of apps do this. It doesn't really matter. A lot of apps do that. That's not really that scary of a thought. A lot of apps will get this data because they need it. They need to know what your CPU types are, your disk space, your memory space, your screen dimensions, all this stuff. So it's fair enough. That's what phone hardware. That's what a phone application has to do. Other apps you have installed, I've even seen some I've deleted show up in the analytics payload, maybe using as cached value. So they track your other apps that you have installed. Fair enough. So if you play fucking, let's say, Angry Birds, it will give you, I don't know, Angry Birds TikToks or something like that. I don't know. Everything network related, IP, local IP, router MAC, your MAC, Wi-Fi access point name. That's not that scary. They need to know that. Of course, they do need to know that. Whether or not you're rooted / jailbroken, that also matters because, well, if you know, there are a lot of apps where if you have a jailbroken phone, you can probably hack into it using its microtransaction systems. So, there. Some variants of the app had GPS pinging enabled at a time, roughly once every 30 seconds. This is enabled by default if you have a location tag a post RC. So, the last thing you should probably do is give a phone or application a way to locate yourself. If something comes up with saying, this application wants to know your location, you're probably best to hit no or block or something like that, because what do they need this for? Not much. So yeah, it's probably a little bit suspicious, but not that much. They set up a local proxy server on your phone for transcoding media, but they can be abused. Of course, this is actually something Muda said, that they don't give too much information about that, so we don't really know much about it. The scariest part of all is that much of your logging they are doing remotely configurable, and unless you reverse every single one of your native libraries, have fun reading all of that assembly, assuming you can get past the fork of 11, and mainly inspecting every single ops function. They have several different protections in place to prevent you from reversing or debugging the app as well. Okay, yes, they, of course, app behavior changes slightly if they know you're figuring out to what they're doing. They also a few snippets of code on the Android version that allows for downloading of remote zip file, unzipping it, and executing set binary. There is zero reason a mobile app would need to this functionality legitimately. Yes, that is right. A phone app should never have, so this is only for the Android version. The iOS, of course, they don't have access to zip files and whatnot, but the Android does have this functionality, and this is not what any app should be doing. TikTok or whatever, WhatsApp or whatever application isn't actually meant to be using this data, this zip file technique for them. No app should be doing this, because this is obviously dangerous if somebody can actually breach into the servers, which with today's security, probably not, but let's say if someone does, they can maybe send thousands of viruses to different phones, and maybe the system wouldn't think, they don't have some sort of virus security. They will just remote zip file it, unzip it, and then execute the virus onto your phone. This is dangerous in every way, because just what the fuck? You're not supposed to. It's not supposed to do this, because no, like, they can execute anything onto your phone. This can be used for anything. They can execute like little spywares or anything like that. That's not good. That's not good for an application to have. Let's see here. Okay. On top of this, they weren't even using HTTPS for the longest time. They leaked users' email addresses in their HTTP REST API, as well as their secondary emails used for password resets. Don't forget about users' real names and birthdays too. It was all publicly viewable a few months if you MAITM did the application. Yeah. This is also a little bit dangerous, because anybody could probably grab your data. So let's say you want to send a message to your friend Dora or some dumb shit like that. You want to send a message to your friend, and if this HTTPS allows safe binary to go through and whatnot, and you being able to send text and whatnot. But having it not on that means that anyone, before the text or the message or anything like that, can get to the other side. Somebody can quickly snatch that, get enough information where they can see it and go, okay. And this is definitely dangerous and whatnot in different ways, because this is grabbing data and whatnot. So this isn't hold on. This isn't in the post of the reverse engineering, but it is a thing where the app TikTok is actually looking at your clipboard without even being on, which is kind of dangerous at the same time. It's not supposed to do that, but I guess it does now. I guess it does do this and whatnot, and it's dangerous. But a lot of things are blaming China for it and whatnot. So a lot of controversy on this app is blaming China, because China, of course, yes, is communist nation. They're looking into viewer identities and whatnot. But a lot of people are missing out that the US has even done this. There is a lot of things I can actually mention about the US, about their kind of data-seeking information. For an example, the PRISM program. This was a big thing, and the PRISM program was pretty much where the US government could have a backdoor to any online texts or any online things they can see. They can have a backdoor to everything. So that's, of course, dangerous, and somebody ended up leaking it, and yeah, that's how we know about the PRISM program. Another thing was back in, I think, the 1996 or something like that, there was the program known as Carnivore, which was a part of an FBI project known as Project Omnivore, or just Omnivore for short. And this all sounds like made up shit from a sci-fi movie, but you can look up the Omnivore project, or you can just look up a Carnivore program, and you can actually read all about it, on how it worked and what it did. And what it would do is it would scan through emails and electronic messages. So that was a big deal. And there's lots of things that actually look for your data and sell. Google comes into example, where it will grab your data and it will sell it. Facebook as well. But the reason why nobody talks about all these things is because they're American. They're supposed to be quote unquote trusted. And it's just a whole shit pile. So I think I'm going to end off the video here. It's much longer than my usual videos, but you know, it's always good to have longer videos than usual. Anyways, see you guys later.